Is the housing market going to crash? What is inflation doing to our economy? And should you just wait to buy a home? I mean, eventually this has to stop, right? Well, we are about to dig into the December 2021 market update. My name is Justin Conico. I own Prime Real Estate Brokerage, but I am not biased by any means. Up market, down markets, we can always find ways to succeed. What we're trying to do on this channel is give you the insights that we see boots on the ground. There is a lot of headline grabbing articles. Unfortunately, the media just pumps those out left, right, and center. And a lot of times you are listening to old data. By the time it actually reaches the news, the properties have already closed, and what's happening on the streets is not as pertinent as what is happening right now. So we shoot these once a month. We also have an insider's newsletter where we drop some more data. We tell you what's happening in the marketplace, and we bring you off-market deals and all the things that you want. And this is the channel where if you're looking for the best real estate in Southwestern Ontario, we have your back. Prime covers everything Lake Huron to Lake Erie. We cover Kitchener to about Sarnia. London is the heart of the market, and we're going to be going over some statistics from the L-Star market as well. So let's dig right into it. So the average price point in the London St. Thomas region, which covers, I would say, Woodstock to about Sarnia, and then Lake Erie to Lake Huron. Sarnia is a closed board, so that's a separate set of data, but I'll give you some insights into that market as well. The average price point in this market is $673,995, and that's up 24%, 24.6 from 2020. Now, keep in mind, some of these markets have experienced over 30% growth in the last year. That's right. I know one market that had 47.6% growth in 1 year, and you have properties that have literally doubled in value. But real estate is hyper local. One cautionary tale I'll give you is when you're listening to these statistics, make sure that you're looking at them from a macro perspective, but making sure that you're making micro decisions. And because I don't stream a ton off this laptop, I just realized I was staring at the wrong camera. So hi, I now notice that you're on this camera. So that's the one that I'll actually talk to. So how many new listings hit the marketplace in the last month? 825. That's up 4.4% from 2020 in number of listings. Is that a metric that I pay a lot of attention to? Only from the standpoint that if there's not a lot of inventory and then there's a whole lot, that indicates that a lot of sellers think, oh man, it's a good time to sell. Now, the activity and the numbers of sales was actually 816, so down 4.7% from last year. Interesting fact, though, we're in a seller's market like we've never seen, and there's no inventory. So if sales, like volume number of sales, is down, not necessarily a massive indicator other than there's not a lot to shop from, or there wasn't a lot of transactions that happened because of that. Now, months of inventory is 0.5%. That is down 0.8. What that means is there's about 15 days of inventory. If we stopped listing properties tomorrow, we would run out of houses to sell in 15 days, which should tell you what type of market we're in. And we are about 8 days on market as the average price, or average days on market. Keep in mind, if you're holding offers for 7 days, that is a skewed number. I would argue we're probably closer to 1 to 2 days on market for properly priced properties. That's a tongue twister, but not all properties are created equal. So if you have a very unique property with a very unique buyer pool and you're not going to get 40 showings and 15 offers, your strategy is going to be a little bit different than just holding offers and expecting everything to sell. I think it's a huge misconception in the industry is everything's going to sell. Everything will sell, but are you going to get the top price? That's the main question. So I'm going to go through a couple of the areas that we cover in our marketplace. Central Elgin, the HPI benchmark price was about $669,900 for a home. London East was $550,300, $749,500 in London North, $628,300 London South. Middlesex Center, which is outside of the city, is about $934,000. St. Thomas was $544,000. Contrast from London to St. Thomas, you're looking at a cheaper average price point, and the average of L-Star is $633,700, and Strathroy Caradoc was $727,000. Now, keep in mind, places like St. Thomas are becoming a very hot market because I think people are seeing the affordability. Investors are still seeing the same rents and price points when it comes to the rents. So the average price is cheaper. You're going to have a lot more people looking down there. And I'm also going to just go over a couple off-market deals for you guys that are coming down the pipeline. So one way we try to serve our audience is just by keeping you looped in and just telling you, hey, this is what's coming in these marketplaces, so you have a leg up. Cool thing is we collaborate with agents all the time. So even if you're working with somebody, we want you to find success I think people think, oh, agents just want to hoard data, and maybe those people are out there. We want to just create an amazing community. We do. And if you're an agent out there, actually, we have a private list that we can blast our properties to you first, make you look like a hero to your clients. But again, this is for everybody and anybody. So we have 2 properties coming in Grand Bend. If you watched my lives on Instagram this morning, you saw 17 Warwick, a great cottage opportunity, steps from the beach, steps from Main Street. Another one on Janison Street in Wee Lakes, backs onto water, an acre of property, stunning bungalow. If you know anybody looking to retire to buy a secondary home, there's that. We also had an opportunity to come up in Port Landings. So if you go down to the St. Thomas area and you go just more towards the lake, you'll see a great project we hammered out for Domus down there. One of the single family homes backing onto the ravine is going to be coming available. So if you want that, let us know. And London, Ontario and Kilworth area, we have some new construction coming as well. If you saw the Glendon Drive property, oh my gosh, that place is a stunner. Probably one of the most exceptionally built properties in London. Go check that one out as well. And then we also just wanted to talk high level about what we're seeing in the primary, secondary, and tertiary markets. So by primary, I mean London, Ontario. I said it's the heart of the market, but London, you can probably compare it now to the Kitcheners and a lot of the other major markets, is on the national stage. So we're seeing immigration that's going to be coming to the GTA area, that's going to bring people to the outer markets. The main reason why we don't see it slowing down anytime soon is the demand is incredibly high, yet the supply is just not coming fast enough to meet the demands. There's a bunch of news stories I was reading today about how the Liberal government is now putting somebody in place to make housing policy decisions. Well, by the time they actually put somebody in place and they table a report and they go over the report 15 times with 15 different people, nothing's going to happen. And we're still going to be in the same spot we're in. We need thousands of houses right now to bring the average price point down because there's not enough houses for the amount of demand. Also, the conversation around inflation is a very important one. So we've been listening and reading news articles and just trying to see what's happening with the Bank of Canada. One thing that they are saying is inflation is at an all-time high. If it reaches around 6%, I think we're hovering around 4.7% right now, that is going to be a point where the Bank of Canada has said we are going to start raising interest rates. So a word of caution to people out there is if you're buying just based on the equity that you have in your home and just running to the next home to buy it and just do that lateral move, well, make sure that you can afford the increase in mortgage costs if that's coming down the pipeline. Because keep in mind, a housing asset is not necessarily a liquid asset. You know, equity's in it. You don't lose unless you have to sell. But if you buy something you can't afford and things change and all of a sudden you have to sell, you will lose, right? And this is where we try to be a little bit balanced on this channel. I'm not just trying to sell everything to everybody. Yeah, I get it. I'm wearing a tie. Yes, I happen to be in real estate, but we want long-term success. In the investment world, we are seeing a shortage of inventory. Cool thing is that mailing list I mentioned earlier on, if you want to just drop your name in the comments or even shoot me a DM on Instagram, I'll get you on that list, is where we send a lot of our off-market deals. I know we have a pile of investment properties coming both in St. Thomas and in London. We have duplexes, we have condos, we have all kinds of investment properties coming, but usually they don't even hit the market because we send those out in those private off-market deal blasts so that people can get first access to them. Now, people are always looking for deals. I will also point you to Lindsay Gowan's YouTube channel. Lindsay Gowan was an investor first. She went to school for design. She worked at sack walls and cabinetry companies and just a really good creative person. She got her license and now works at Prime. And the cool thing about Lindsay was she identified a property that everybody else passed on, a property that everybody else passed on. She bought it and she turned it into a great investment opportunity. And she just dropped a YouTube video on that, which was pretty awesome to see. Another couple major announcements I want to make before I wrap this up. We launched a toy drive. It is December 13th. There's 2 days left. It was incredible. We were on Clubhouse. Somebody donated $1,200 there. The next thing I know, another group came by, donated bags and bags and bags of toys. I'm looking, both of our windows are full. If you have any toys, you have little kids, you want to show them what giving is all about, drop off toys tomorrow or the 15th at Prime's headquarters. And that's 200 Village Walk, Unit 302, or shoot me a DM. We are going to do the drop off to the hospital for Toys for Tots and sick kids on the 16th. I'm pretty impressed with our community and the people that came out for that. Another little super hack for you, and this is going to be on the Insiders Report, is if you're looking for something really cool to do for your kids' birthdays and you want to blow their socks off, one of our featured Prime partners this month is Little Tracks Petting Zoo. They will literally pull into your driveway with a giant trailer, and they'll have all kinds of animals. They literally have a unicorn. They have chinchillas, they have goats, and all kinds of stuff. The kids went absolutely bananas for that too. So we wanted to mention them as well. And we also have a couple other things in there that we'll point you to. So if you're looking to find out where do I find all the best Christmas lights, go to the newsletter. It will be in there as well. And last but not least, the Prime team. I got to give a special shout out to Adnan Selimovic. I got to give it to Lindsay Gowan and Betty Kalai. They dominated the L-Star Awards. Betty Kalai won the Instagram Awards. Go check her out. She's a killer. Lindsay Gowan, the most positive. Literally, I just told you how she took a property that nobody wanted to buy and turned it into a positive. And Adnan was dressed to kill. The guy's got some flavor. The guy's got some style. And he's one of the best musicians I've ever met. We're going to be digging into the stats again next month and going through more and more details, but we need you to tell me what you want to see. Is the market going to crash? Comment below. Do you think inflation is going to affect things? Comment below. What type of information do you want us to dig up? Are there specific asset classes and areas you want covered? Let us know and we'll give you the goods. It is getting dark outside. I got to go get some more toys. Thank you for joining us as always, and I will see you on the next